Okay, so we're live now. Yay. Okay, so last week I started I moved my Just Paint Thursdays to format to from just me painting to me talking with other artists. And last week we had three other artists, and tonight we have Todd. And we're just gonna sit and chat and see who else joins us. And you're welcome to ask questions or make comments, but be nice because I'll block your butt. So, so what have you been up to, Todd?
Well, I've
You do
been
okay. Let's talk first about you're a portrait artist. You do work in oil, right?
right. Yeah, I work in oil or charcoal,
Mm-hmm.
just to give people a more affordable option.
Right. Very
And
important.
I'm a historical reenactor, so I go to these events called Mountain Man Rendezvous,
Mm-hmm.
and we camp for usually about 10 days, and there's vendors selling things for the hobby, and people shoot. They shoot like muskets, flintlocks, and
Oh, that sounds cool.
I set up my tent as a gallery and show my work, and I'll do caricatures on the spot, which I don't really care much for the caricatures, but it's something that people can get for $10,
Right. Right.
as opposed to uh, a painting for 3 to 500,
Right.
But I do take commissions, and at a good event, I'll do pretty well. It'll give me enough work to carry me through generally till the next event. But of course, this year we're
Mm-hmm.
in bizarro world, and there are no events.
Right.
Everything's been canceled. But I've developed enough of a reputation that people will contact me. They see
Right.
me. I've become friends with a lot of people, very good friends, and they'll think about it for a couple of years, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually say, "Oh, I want one." I want an oil painting, because an oil painting fits in with the period. We're dealing with the early 1800s,
Right.
right before photography was invented. So an oil portrait is, what people would have had at that time. So
Cool.
I do a lot of people in their outfits, their historical outfits,
Oh, that
and
sounds.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures that you post on Facebook of your. Yeah.
Hmm.
So how are you? You're just going off a reputation for this year, or are you doing anything else?
Well, I also do medical illustration.
Oh, cool. I remember
I've
you were.
got, that's what
Are
I
you
used to
still?
do, and I've got one more of a partner than a client, but we've worked together for 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a writer. She's a medical writer, so she gets a lot of jobs like medical journal articles or books,
Right.
medical textbooks and that kind of thing. So and it works out great for me because I don't have to deal with the customers. You know,
Right.
she offers my services and usually tacks on a little commission for herself,
Mm-hmm.
and then I deal directly with her, and we're friends. We've worked together for a long time, so I don't get a lot of the problems that come with dealing with customers.
Right. Right. I remember I when I found out that you worked with my Aunt Marta,
Oh,
I,
right, yeah.
I was just like, that was crazy. That was crazy small world.
Well, that was a
Crazy small
big
world.
company. A lot of people worked there, and
Yeah.
well, and that's where I worked with Joanne. And Joanne is based in in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't ever see each other. I've gone out there a couple of times. In fact, we did a convention. One of our big clients is a famous pain doctor. Um,
Okay.
and apparently there's a convention. It was in Las Vegas called Pain Week. And this doctor uh, put up the money for Joanne and I to have a booth to
Oh,
sell our
wow.
series. So we printed up a bunch of brochures and things, and I took my easel and I worked on a painting. It was well, you can see it on my website, but and Joanne eventually bought that painting. It was like a historical photo of a surgery. You know,
Oh,
doctors in the 19 in
I think I remember that one.
yeah, I think it was in 1900.
What is
And
your website? Can you put it in the chat for?
oh yeah, it's Todd-Cooper .pixels.com. It's actually Fine Art America, but
Right. Yeah.
that's how you get to it.
Okay. I think I got that. I hope that's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Um,
So
well,
we spent a long, I think 3 days at this convention, and I got this painting started. It was pretty ambitious. There was like 7 figures in the
right.
painting, and trying to do it on the convention floor.
With people watching,
Yeah, yeah,
that's always fun.
yeah,
I
yeah. That
remember.
it is fun.
Yeah.
I used to do a broadcast show online uh, years ago. Quite a few people I knew were doing them, where you just paint, on a particular time and day.
Right.
It was called Ustream.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and yeah, I did quite a bit of work on that. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you have anything lying around you can show everybody?
yeah. I just finished one that I'm real happy with, and right now we're just trying to figure out how to deliver it.
Oh, okay.
Because normally I would just mail it, and
Right.
I may end up doing that. But this is a 9 by 12.
Oh my gosh. Here, let me focus on.
Yeah,
That's gorgeous. I love it.
yeah. This is a couple that I know from Rendezvous. This guy's name is, they call him Hilltop. He always camps on top of the hill,
Right.
and his girlfriend, or now his wife, owns a kind of a Western shabby chic store down in San Diego,
Oh, okay.
and so she ordered this, and I'm going to do one of her also,
Oh, that's cool.
and yeah, this one was very well received when I posted it on Facebook, and so
Uh-huh.
I got 2 more, including this one that I'm working on. Got a couple more commissions out of it, so I've
Well,
got at
that's
least
good.
one more to do after this one. And this one, I had done a charcoal drawing. This is my friend John and his dog Molly,
Mm-hmm.
and I had done a charcoal drawing of them. And so he messaged me. He said, "I want a painting of the same picture." So
Oh,
I didn't have to get new photography. And
sometimes you have those images that just, you know,
yeah,
mean something, they capture something, especially when you have an animal that is you can't tell to
yeah,
look this way. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I was painting a lot of rhinos just to lead up to this, just to make sure that everything could flow easy. And so um, I've been working on these big projects, I'm trying to help with the fundraiser as well. So I got them to bring the mobile bidding online and or to mobile.
And what is that exactly? That bowling for rhinos?
Bowling for
Is it like
Rhinos
saving the rhinos?
yeah, it's to help protect the rhinos, but also their habitat. And in protecting their habitat, you also protect all the animals that live in their habitat, which there
Hmm.
are cheetahs and all kinds of other animals and plants as well.
Hmm.
So they're kind of like a keystone species where it's integral to
To the
the
ecosystem.
yeah, yeah. So what it is it's a fundraiser put on by the American Association of Zookeepers, but by each individual chapter at each zoo. So there will be multiple Bowling for Rhino events, and it's a 30-year-old fundraiser. So when it started 30 years ago, it's an actual bowling event. You go to a bowling alley and you bowl.
Oh,
And so this started way back when, and there's even a video of Jack Hanna promoting this and
mhm.
stuff. So
Is he
um,
still around?
I don't know, to be honest.
I just saw him on a rerun of The Tonight Show.
Yeah,
But,
I loved seeing him come out on the Tonight Show with whatever he had lying
yeah.
around. Well, here, let's grab this animal and take it with me. Um, but yeah, so Bowling for Rhinos is this bowling event, and it's put on by the National Zookeepers or the American Association of Zookeepers. And I got contacted by someone from the Kansas City Zookeepers Association, and then she kind of dropped off. She came back and apologized for like not finishing the connection because she got some medical news and stuff and had to go deal with that. But I finished making the connection, and we've been working. But it's completely the fundraiser is completely a volunteer thing. It's not something they do while they're on the job. So, the time to invest in it is minimal. And so I thought I'd help, and I got them to bring it. Because it has to be rethought this year. You can't do an in
Yeah,
person.
everything is.
Yeah, so they're still holding that event, but, I said you needed to bring the silent auction items online and open it up to everybody. You're gonna get more bids and you're gonna get higher bids and you're gonna get more donate you just gotta do it this way. I didn't, like, approach it now. I said, like, "Hey, what about this idea?" And they're like, "Great." Um, but then she was having issues getting donations. So I went to my art. I'm back up just a second. When COVID hit, I changed web platforms from Wix to art storefronts. So we have a marketing group with art storefronts, and I popped it in the chat and said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. This is what it's looking like. Is there anybody willing to, that wants to help out and donate a piece?" I had like 15 people crawl out of the woodwork in like under 10 minutes, and it was amazing. Hey, do you want an original? Do you want a print? What size? Where does it go? Who do I send it to? When do you need it? Okay.
Well, Ken Kaler just did an event up here. He's living in Nevada now.
Yeah, yeah, I know he's not local anymore.
But when the lake fire hit,
Hmm.
uh, it destroyed people's homes out there in Pine Canyon, and
Right.
people that we
I
know.
know that he said that he came out to protect his dad's house or something. Is
That
that right?
could be.
I don't.
Uh,
I know. I know.
no, no, his
Oh,
dad passed away.
okay.
His dad was a really great stained glass artist.
Right.
He had a show
Well,
at
Ken's
the
getting
old
into that.
gallery.
Ken's been doing that.
Yeah, he's been doing it really well. Ken is incredible. He's one of my favorite artists.
It doesn't matter what that man touches,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
right?
just really good. Um, but he got together with Bill Cook, whose son lives in Ken's old house now, um, and they put together an auction. And Ken donated a whole mess of paintings that he had done locally, and he's painted everything in the Lake Hughes and
Right.
area and Leona Valley and all around here. And so then some other people got involved. I didn't because I don't have my work doesn't have universal off the shelf kind of appeal.
Right. Right.
Mostly portraits. But Donna Weil and did Dave? I don't know, some other people. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But they raised about $6,000 to
See,
give to
that's
fire.
amazing. That's amazing. This
Mhm.
little fundraiser, they're anticipating, or their goal is 4,000. So we're gonna try and blow it out of the water there a little. And it's kind of for selfish reasons because I'm trying to get in with the zoos.
Mm. Right.
I really want to get, my thought is these animals are in the zoo and they need to be taken care of and they need to be fed and they have expenses, but zoo attendance is what? It's
Oh,
either not
now
there or it's
non-existent. Yeah.
by appointment. So, what can I do to help? But eventually when this all ends, then I hope to have art in the gift shops and just have a name for wanting to help animals and just a reputation for doing this. And if,
Right.
if this goes well, then maybe I can help out with other Bowling for Rhinos events.
Yeah, the type of work you do lends itself really well to that.
Yeah,
Give zoo gift shops.
right. Um, so yeah, so I've reached out to a couple of zoos to see about, what can I do. And the LA Zoo actually got back to me and said, "Oh my gosh, you hit us at just the right time. We were in the middle of planning an art auction." So I'm like, "Cool." And they asked for a proposal, so I gave them a proposal. And my thing is I don't want to just donate a piece because what I want is I want an audience. I want people to come to my site. I want people to purchase. So
Yeah,
yeah,
gotta keep yourself
eventually,
out there. Yeah. You
right,
can't go to shows or events. You got to
right.
keep yourself out there.
So my
Well,
thought was, hey, if I'm going to donate a piece, why don't I paint something specific, do it original, paint something specific, paint it live online, stream to their channel so their audience can see this piece being created and maybe
right.
invested in the piece as it's developed. And then maybe it'll go for more on the auction end of it. And then while people watch, come in and out, pop in and out, they might go to my website and sign up for my newsletter and whatnot. It's just a thought.
Yeah.
What?
I'm. I've got my laptop turned so it's facing the easel.
Right,
Normally it'd be facing over that way.
right.
So it's at an angle, and I feel like I'm at an angle here. I'm
Okay.
looking for something to stick under one side of it.
Yeah.
Um, but the rendezvous that I go to, since there aren't any this year,
Right.
um, we've been having what we call rendezvous.
Okay, that's cool.
So we've
That's
been getting together, and everybody puts on a shirt or beads or a hat or something that you would normally wear at rendezvous,
right.
and do this. We sit and talk.
Right,
And
right.
then a couple of us would be playing guitars around a campfire. So we throw in a song here and there.
That's
That's
cool.
a lot of fun.
We
Yeah.
gotta do something because otherwise it's way too isolating. I
Yeah.
It's way too isolating. Um,
Yeah, and
I
it's been going on for so long too. I mean,
yeah.
this whole since
I
the
think I
beginning.
saw I think I saw a meme yesterday that says the pandemic's not over just because you're over it.
Right. And it's not going to be over just because it becomes 2021.
Right.
You know, we're all talking about it as if it's this year. Who knows how long this could go on?
Right. And
Hope
it's
not too long.
well, and what I don't get is how politicized it's become, to wear a mask
Incredibly. Yeah.
or, it's like,
Yeah.
just because someone's asking you to wear your mask doesn't mean that they're infringing on your freedom and
Right.
how it's translating to that. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
I'm,
right.
I'm so tired of how everything is politicized.
Well, how can someone's health be politicized? That's what I don't get,
No,
you know.
no.
Um,
It's polite to wear a mask, even if you don't believe that it does any good. It's now considered polite.
right.
I want to set this back up there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I was signed up for 13 shows this year. And the San Diego Art Walk thinks they're having their show in November.
Mm. Oh, good luck.
Yeah. But Indian Wells
Yeah.
just said, okay, well, we're moving it to virtual. We're keeping your money for the booth and we're taking it virtual. So that's a $300 booth that we're going virtual with. And
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now I wrote down complete notes on the status of every show as they became canceled and refunds and charges and who did what. And I don't have down that I got a refund from them, but I know I asked. But I swear I think I remember getting a refund from them.
Seems like
But
they would have to.
right, well, that's right now they're sending out letters saying that no, in the language when you signed up, we said there were no refunds no matter what. So they're pointing to that, but there's something up with that. You can't do that. There's legal precedent that you can't do that.
I it seems like that would be set up so that you can't back out at the last minute and not show up and expect a refund. But if the
Right,
event itself is canceled,
right. Well, it's a rain or shine event, but this is
yeah,
going a little bit
yeah,
outside
but
rain
if
or shine.
they're not having the event, I mean,
Right.
I can understand if it's a rain or shine event and it rains and you don't want to go with your watercolors.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I was at Fountain Hills
you
out
know,
in Arizona in February, at the end of February. Oh, look who's joining us. Watch this. You ready for this? Hey,
Rich,
Rich.
Hey guys, sorry I was
buddy.
Yeah. No,
zooming.
yeah, you're cool. We were just talking about virtual fairs and cancellation policies and stuff. I was saying that I went to Fountain Valley and it rained all day Saturday, like the big day. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, and it rained so hard. People didn't even open their booths.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
had
we
that
didn't.
happen when I did the Sonoma plein air event a couple years back. It was miserable the whole week, painting in the rain, and the day of the
Yeah.
whole exhibit, it was just pouring.
Well, we got news today that Indian Wells, my friend, is not a big fan of the virtual festivals. I'm gonna try them. I've got 3 signed up that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see how they do. We have to adapt. Things have to happen some way, you know. So I signed up for it, but she's not up for it, and she's like trying to contact them to see about a refund of the $300 booth fee that was paid, and is being told that no, there's no refunds, regardless of the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic and aren't going to have the event.
Yeah,
We're doing a virtual, so you can
Yep.
participate that way. But all the virtuals the other 2 virtuals were $100, not $300.
yeah. I haven't done one of those yet. I don't know how well people do. Wait, before we go any further, excuse me just a minute. I have not seen that gentleman in a long time. How you doing, Todd?
I think the last time I saw you was at Vasquez Rocks, and
Wow.
you had said you were going to be there with some other people, and I brought all my gear, and got out there kind of late and just didn't feel like doing it. So I walked around and talked to you as you were finishing something up. And I think that's the last time I saw you.
Yeah, that's
Other
that's
than-
a while back. So
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
A fair amount of portrait commissions, and and I still do the medical illustration too.
Oh, good. Cool.
So that's
Good to
been
hear.
pretty busy.
Kim, Todd and I found out just, by a fluke that he has a cousin, I believe it is, Mindy,
Oh yeah, Mary.
who I went
Yeah.
to elementary school with 100 years ago.
Well,
See,
and
and
Kim.
he worked with my aunt
Oh,
at
wow.
St. Jude's. He worked with my aunt at St. Jude's.
I know everybody.
Yeah.
Shouldn't Kevin Bacon be somewhere nearby?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's good to see you, Todd. It is. I'm happy to see you in here.
And then I had Ian pop in earlier. You remember Ian, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember? Okay. Pop your face in here. Come here. Sit up here.
That's not Ian. Ian's very small.
No,
Right.
but
Ian's small enough for me to carry.
okay. I'm gonna here. Here. There he is. Look at that beard.
It's the wrong color.
That's his Halloween costume.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So that's my baby.
Yeah, I know. I was taking mine out to practice driving the other day.
Oh no.
How is that possible already? But
I know.
Wow. Oh yeah.
yeah. So anyway, these virtual shows, I haven't done any of them. I don't
Right.
know.
Well,
I
I've
don't
got
know who they
3
are.
4 now. Oh my God, 4. It started off with Los Altos. I had a show up in Los Altos scheduled, and they canceled, and they said, "Oh, we're doing a live show or a virtual show. Would you be interested if we held that?" They kind of did a poll, and I said sure. And so then they came back with, okay, so we had a consensus from everybody, and it's good to go. So it's going to be $100, and this is what you do, and it's through Eventany. Have you guys heard of Eventany?
Not me.
Okay, well, it's like something that's popped up since maybe a little bit before COVID, but it's really become big during COVID to host these events virtually and all kinds of events, not just outdoor art festivals, but
Do people show up in any numbers or?
I'm being told that, right now Los Altos is having me schedule live chat time where people can join a Zoom and we can all talk. So I have to set up a Zoom and then tell them, and then they're going to promote it and everything. And then that's how that's working. And then I'm sitting around waiting to chat or whatever with, I don't know. I haven't done one either, but this is where it's going. So, the other one I have is Indian Wells. Indian Wells, we were talking about just before you joined us, and they're doing something kind of sneaky that I'm not a real 100% behind, and that is people paid their booth fees. Now, when I paid my booth fee, I had to send them a check. Okay, and they sat on it forever, and then finally they cashed it. But then the event got canceled, and they wouldn't refund anybody's money. So they're saying, we're moving it to virtual, participate or not. It's a rain or shine event, and they're keeping the $300.
I'm not a lawyer, but that doesn't sound like something that would pass legal muster to me. That wasn't what I signed up for.
I know it won't.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But my friend doesn't want to get into a pissing match with them over it because it kind of.
Well, if they call it a rain or shine event, then they should hold the event.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not online.
And the other thing is when these events do things like that, the people that run them, I think sometimes they forget that there's fallout from bad decisions like that. It's not like artists don't talk to one another.
Yeah.
I had what was it? Telluride not Telluride.
Ooh.
It's that other little town up in the Rockies. I can't remember the name of it right now. Estes Park. I got the lady that was actually the chairman of the Estes Park Plein Air Festival. She sends me an email, right? Now, I'd never had anything to do with this woman, so I don't know how it's not, you can get people's emails, but I didn't give it to her is my point. She got it from somebody else. She went out of her way to contact me and said, in essence, we'd really love it if you would submit something for our festival. These people are going to be there. This is what we're going to do. We think you'd make a great addition to it. Da, 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 da.
Right.
Made it sound as if, well, all you got to do is tell us you're interested and you're in, right?
Right.
And I thought, well, heck, if they're reaching out to me and saying they want me to come, okay. And it was like, it wasn't a lot. It was like $45 to submit your images and have them juried, right?
Right.
So I said, okay, fine, I'll do that. And so I sent them some images and I sent them a check for $45 and they cashed it. And then I didn't get in.
Oh, it was juried.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. Look, I've been doing this long enough. I understand there's no rhyme or reason to these things, and that's fine. But I called her up and I just said to her, I said, look, I want you to understand what I'm saying here. I'm not asking you to reconsider. I'm not making any accusations. I am saying this. It doesn't look good when you reach out to somebody who didn't ask to be in it.
Right.
And you all but guarantee them that all you need to do is say you want to be here and we'll have you here.
Right.
And then I send you the money and I don't get in. I said, do you understand how that looks? And she says, well, you could always apply next year. And I said, no, you don't understand. I'm fine that I'm not in it. I'm talking about the way you're doing business.
Yeah, it's like,
well,
hey, do you want to give us $45?
Right. So, and the point is, I said, look, here's what you need to keep in mind. All of us artists that do these plein air events, there's a whole circuit, we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that event is no more because apparently I wasn't the only one that she did that to.
Right.
So it went. I think it's back now under a different name and different people are operating it. But as it went away because they were doing things that weren't, in good faith, and people talk and.
Right.
I think that
so
happens
I don't know.
With first-time events.
Yeah.
People that don't know how it works, and they think we'll just get artists to pay for the event, and they're going to make a lot of money.
Right. They won't know.
Well, it's like the San Diego Art Walk. Okay. I loved that show, but mid-show last year, they decided in January they were gonna take their stuff over to Zapplications. And Zapplications, do you guys use Zapplications at all?
Well, I don't enter show.
Okay. Well,
I use Canvas.
Well, okay, so Zapplications is a website where it houses a lot of different shows, and that's where you keep your images that you want to submit, and it houses them, and then you go in and you're like, I want to apply to that show and that show, and then whatever. But you don't have to use Zapplications, obviously, but it costs something to use it because they're doing all the organization on their end and the communication with the artists and managing the booth fees and stuff like that. So I had agreed to do the show and sign up to do the show before they went to Zapplications. Now, historically, I had been doing this show since 2005. And historically, what they had done is they would let you pay for the booth up until like February or of the same year. So up until a couple months before, but everybody else wants payment like in the fall. So when you apply for shows in like October, November, December for the spring, they want payment by they want payment months ahead of time. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm used to. I got accepted. I'm going to pay in February. That's what's in my budget. I have to pay for all these other shows all bunched up right here. So this helps my budget out a little bit. She comes back and says, "Oh, we're fully booked now, so we need your payment in full right now." And I'm like, wait, no. And then I hear that they're trying to like make their events. They're planning on holding their event in November in person in San Diego.
Good luck.
That's
And
not gonna.
they, yeah, I know. But what they're doing is that's why I've only paid for half of my booth. But
Yeah, but still.
yeah, but they they're trying to take away all of the things that gather people. So all the kids art events, all of the beer gardens, and they're removing those from the shows. And then they're making entry ticketed so that they can do tracing.
Oh.
And then they expect us, then they say they're not going to provide tents anymore. We have to bring our own tents or pay for tents, but they're not going to reduce the price. So they were charging $5.25 for a booth and providing the tent, and all you do is show up and set up. And then there were events, music, and kids stuff and beer garden and all this other, and they're taking all that away, taking away the tent, not reducing the price, and making people pay to come in. So they're reducing all the traffic.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how in the world that event's even going to survive.
Probably won't.
Yeah, which is sad, but
Either that or it's going to turn into a craft fair.
yeah, which it was well known to be, originals only. They would get after you.
The only way you can do that is like you're not going to. The reason I stopped doing any of those kind of things is because, please, you guys don't. I don't mean to sound full of myself. I don't have any delusions of grandeur here or anything, but you get into a gallery or two and your prices get set at a certain point,
Right.
and then you try to do these things here, and then these people show up for these events where they're there for the kettle corn, and they're there for the kids things, and they're there for all this other stuff, and that's great. It gets people out. But none of those people are paying $1,200 for a 9x12 painting.
No,
True.
So, I can't. There's no point in me doing those things. And
Right.
what you're talking about, they're gonna take away your market. Is basically what they're gonna do.
Well, see, galleries. I've gotten into one gallery in Texas like just last week, but I can't get anything out there. And what's the point at this point? And galleries weren't taking my stuff because it just doesn't fit with their aesthetic or whatever. I was applying to Laguna and some other galleries, around the area, and watercolor doesn't get a lot of love. Watercolor.
Well, and the thing with the Laguna specifically is there's still such a heavy presence and respected, presence by the Laguna Plein Air Painters Association. That's one of the few places where they're still really into. I mean, there's other stuff too, but they still value traditional representational oil painting.
Right.
So
they
like you
want
go to Santa Fe now, or you go to Taos now, and it's a whole other ball game. You're looking at such stuff, and what the heck is this? It's
a lot of
but-
the stuff, like the Laguna Art, Laguna Beach. There's a gallery down there that I was part of, and I'm part of their online community. But when I went into the physical gallery, because I did their art walk, which was first Thursday, is what it's called, and I did that. Sam and I went down there and we set up the easels in front of the gallery. I went into the gallery to see about what it would take to be in the gallery, and I was told, "You'll never hang in here." How freaking rude is that? You'll never hang in here. Are you kidding me? Boy, you must really not want me.
Completely divorced myself from the art world. I'm not in the guild anymore. I don't do art affairs. I don't donate to any fundraisers. I mean, I might at some point, but I don't apply. I did submit something to the MOA juried show this last time, which was just going to be a virtual show anyway. And I only did it because they weren't charging. Since there was no physical show, they weren't charging. I think there was a $3 fee application thing because they used one of those what you were talking about
websites,
Zapplication kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, yeah, $3, I'll submit, and didn't get in anyway. So
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't. I mean,
do it.
personally, I have nothing to do with MOA. Their first opening show where they invited all of us locals.
Mhm.
I was so pissed off after that.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
You didn't like the location you were hung in.
no, I did not.
I know.
We talked
The,
about that last week.
the space between the men's room door and the fire, pole
Oh, Jesus.
was not optimal. But it
Well, it
wasn't
was.
just that.
Yeah,
I felt that they gave short shrift to all of us, and I thought that the way it was
yeah.
pitched to me was a lot different than what it turned out. And Andy, that curator, it's clear that she doesn't care for the kind of artwork that I do. So, I mean, I've got a project I've been working for the last year, this Painting the American West project. I've got right now probably 40 paintings that are ready to go.
Mhm.
And I just got to, and I, talking to the Bakersfield Art Museum, Santa Paula Art Museum, the Pasadena Museum of History, and and if things ever open up and they get all their other shows that were already scheduled taken care of, I may actually get the museum show going, right?
So tell us
And I
about.
thought about Lancaster; it's the closest one to me, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time I look at their website, it's like they've got nothing there that looks even remotely like what I do, and I just
Yeah.
don't think she cares for that kind of work.
It's like one of these things is not like the other. Sesame Street. Yeah.
I think she has personal aspirations to, run a big gallery or a museum in New York.
Yeah. It's not New York. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Lancaster. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and I thought when they took over MOA, when they took over the museum there, that it was going to be, more catering to the locals and
But because that's what we were told.
Well,
yeah.
in all fairness, they have given a lot of locals a chance to show in the museum. I've been in a couple of
Todd, your
shows.
fairness is getting in the way of my rant.
But in general, the MOA doesn't show the kind of work that I do either, and and also I'm more of a commercial artist. I'm sure I'm painting in oils. I'm doing artwork, but it's mostly portrait commissions.
Right.
Which a lot of artists won't do at all because they don't
Yeah.
like dealing with people. But
Yeah.
I'm usually dealing with friends. I'm dealing with people that I camp with for 10
Mhm.
days at a time.
Yeah.
And so I like the people, and I don't take any shit from them. Like you have to do with customers sometimes. Not a
Yeah.
lot of,
Yeah.
but so I don't have anything to show in art shows and galleries and museums.
Yeah.
I've got
You make them as the heat rises.
yeah.
I have a box full of paintings. Just, I finish a painting, I open the box, I put the painting in the box, I close the box, I put the box over there. So
If you guys could see right now, I'm in my studio, and literally everywhere I look, on the floor, stacked against the walls, on the walls themselves, I've got stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, I've got a lot of stacked up too. I've got a bunch of paintings here. It's everything I've done over the last 10 years.
yeah,
But all my best work is portraits.
yeah,
right. I've been working on really big projects. And so I've been stuck and not finishing anything. And I got really frustrated. So I started doing minis. So this is what I'm doing. Right.
Oh, so you're just monkeying around then?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did.
But check this guy out.
Yeah,
And that's that's a 6 inch by 6 inch, and I really dig this one.
Yeah.
And then I did.
those are huge.
They're 6 inches. But then I have
That's a mini.
okay, yeah. Yeah.
Card.
But
It's almost a business card.
yeah. Well, these are called
Kim,
artist cards. I got at Blick. So
Kim, is there anybody watching us right now?
we've had people come in and out. Just nobody's commented, which is really odd. But
Okay, now the comments that I can see here,
you can see comments.
are those where are your comments coming from? Like when I see you online doing this,
Oh yeah,
I'm seeing it on Facebook. So
right.
there's a regular Facebook comment area.
Right. Yeah. No. In I'm using StreamYard, and StreamYard allows me to stream to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn if they allow it. So what happens is all of those comments come in and feed into a chat panel that I have to the right. So I can.
And you're the only one. Are you the only one that can see that?
I can see it says private chat, but do I need to move it to comments, I guess?
Yeah, I move it to comments.
Well, yeah, but there's nothing there.
Yeah,
There's something from StreamYard, and then
Water Plus Ink, which is
me.
And then and Water Plus Ink is you when you put up my web address.
Right. You can see that one's my Facebook, one's a YouTube, and one's a Twitch. So they're different channels. So like when I put out a comment,
I see. Yeah.
I can put out a comment to a specific channel or to all channels. But this is just getting off the ground. So I'm assuming that as the weeks go by, I can have up to I think 8 or 10 people in here. So it'll be fun.
Pardon my interruption. I needed to ask you something though, because I really do like this idea of having artists just sit and talk, and especially when we're talking about art.
Yeah.
And I bear him no ill will. I don't want to talk politics.
Right. I know. I tried to shut Steven down real quick.
Yeah, because honestly, that close last week for me, giving him a virtual beatdown. Yeah. All right. He's assuming facts, not in evidence. I don't care what his politics are. Right. He shouldn't assume what mine are. And if that happens, out.
Okay.
Otherwise, I really like this idea. But
I would be gone too.
Well, honestly, we don't need to be talking politics here.
No, they've already got politics in my sports, and I can't watch them because of it. I don't need it in art. Right.
The only thing I think we mentioned earlier was the politicization of mask wearing and stuff. We mentioned that early on, but that's
just the two of us.
That was just the two of us, and that was early on.
And look, there's certain things. I mean, I tried to kind of steer around what he was saying and bring it back to somewhere normal, but right. I'm like, okay, dude, I get that you're a teacher and you think teachers are all perfect, and that's fine, but don't assume that you know what everybody else in the room is thinking. Mm-hmm. So that's all. I got nothing more to say. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He just gets.
I have no doubt. I'm not going to judge him on one difference either, but I don't want to talk about that when we're doing this. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Is that the guy that painted waves?
Yeah, he was painting a surfboard. He got a gig with a surfboard company, a vintage surfboard. So
that's cool. Mm-hmm. Neat. All right. Well,
do you mind if
go for it?
Oh, were you going to say something, Todd?
No, I said, do you mind if I smoke?
Well, Steve Martin line came to mind, but it's only appropriate if you're in the same room.
I don't care if you burn.
So have either of you guys talked to Ken at all lately?
No, but he did that auction.
Yeah. Actually, last I heard, I think we raised over $6,000. I think, which is not going to change anybody's life necessarily, but it's something.
Yeah.
And I think his daughter who was running it. I think she was going to do sort of not a live auction, but just put the paintings up on a website where people could purchase them to, keep my, because I've
Oh,
still
it was
got
live.
all my pieces.
It was live. You didn't watch it?
No, the auction was live, but there were pieces left over that didn't sell.
Oh, okay.
And so rather than, go retrieve them, she said, well, I'm probably going to put them up again and offer to let people buy them for that same cost.
She has some kind of a store. She does.
Yeah, she's got some vintage clothing store on Facebook that she does as a regular thing. So,
and she was using that, I think, to facilitate.
Yeah. So, you try. What can you do?
Yeah. So, I was telling Todd this earlier, but did you watch my Rhino live paint last night?
No. What was I doing? Oh, no. Last night I was doubled over in pain.
Oh no! What happened?
I don't know. I've had in the last 5 months or so, I've had about 5 different episodes where I wake up usually I wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes early, and I just have this intense abdominal pain. Don't know what it is.
Oh no!
I went and saw my doctor. They did X-rays and other tests, and I just got an ultrasound done last week, and I'm waiting for the results of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but last night was kind of a lost. And so on Wednesdays I teach at my son's school. Now virtually, right? So yesterday was go to his school, even though he's here at home, but go to school in the classroom and teach until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, middle school virtually, then hustle home. And I had 2 out-of-state painting students that I do online teaching for here.
Oh, cool.
And then grab the stomach and double over and paint. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I was painting for Bowling for Rhinos, which is the rhino fundraiser thing that I'm doing through the Kansas City Zoo.
I was talking about last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not done yet, but this is the piece.
Cool.
And then I'm donating 15% of the proceeds in addition to giving people 15% off the store. And I created I took one of my paintings and I took the rhino out of the background, and I arced type over the top and the bottom, and it said "Save the Chubby Unicorns." and so it's not a unique thing. The Save the Chubby Unicorns is a thing, but I just paired it with my art and put it on some things through Printful. Do you guys are you familiar with Printful? I know you use Pixels, but but
it's actually Fine Art America.
Yeah.
But they use pixels.com as the website that they give you. So when you go to it, it looks like your own personal website.
Yeah. The only problem with those is that, do you get any of the information of the people that purchase from you? Can you market to them after they buy? Do you have their email?
No, just all I get is where they are, and I get about half the money.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do anything.
True.
They sell a print, or I sell a print, and they print it and ship it and send me half the money. So it's fine.
Yeah,
I've bought some of the, when you buy your own stuff, it's like half the price.
Right.
You're not paying your.
Because they're sending you half your money back. Yeah.
Well, but if you want prints, I mean, they do good prints. So I buy a few. I haven't lately, but so I can buy prints, and then I put them, I mat them and put them in sleeves, and I put them in a rack in my tent, my gallery tent.
So people can see, what you do.
Well, they can buy the prints.
Yeah.
And I just mark up 50%.
See, Art Storefronts, which is where I'm at, has when you come on board, you pick a template, you upload your stuff, you create your store, you pick which printer you want to use, and that printer does all your prints and gives you the ability to print on paper, metal, acrylic, wood,
Yeah, we do all that.
all of that stuff, all that happy stuff. But they also, what's cool is they have marketing meetings twice a week, and they have, a Facebook group where you can ask questions, and they're there to help you. So like you don't pay any extra for consulting or tech help, like, or whatever. But I dig it because it says, okay, here's the calendar. This is what we're doing this week. Post to social on
Is
this
this
day.
cutting out for everybody?
I've got it clear.
I'm clear. Are you okay? Or you're frozen? Todd looks like he's frozen.
He does. Well, he got his good side.
Yeah.
You there, Todd?
Here, let me remove him and then put him back in. Sorry, Todd. I'm trying to get out to stream. It's black.
Yeah, he's not there.
It's supposed to be there. Well, you're in the stream, so we should hear your audio. Don't hear his audio.
Nope. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend to.
I'll probably follow the link and come back in.
So how many other people are you? I know last week you were saying that you had talked to maybe 6 people or something, and you know if any of these people are serious about joining this kind of thing, or?
It's going to be kind of I reached out to someone on TikTok and they said they were interested, but they didn't understand. We're doing 2 things and he got them confused. So he couldn't join us tonight. But he's in Long Beach and has it. He's in the middle of this huge project that I wanted him to talk about. Supporting the post office. So
Okay.
he's having people send him mail with a return stamp and a blank piece of paper, and he was going to draw something for them on it and send it back just to create mail and purchase stamps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to be too much because he was getting just buckets of responses.
Spend it all day just calling on.
I'm going to do a print and I'm going to sign it. And for those of you that sent me $20 in stamps, then I'm going to do something special for you.
Yeah.
But he's made the news in Long Beach. He's big on TikTok. He's just doing some amazing stuff, but it's but I wanted him to talk about it. So, because, how are we supposed to ship our stuff?
Well, that's who I use. I usually don't use, Federal Express or anything. They cost too much money.
Well, I was finding out that because I use stamps.com, and that allows me to print out my mailing labels at home, and then all I have to do is go throw it at the post office. I don't have to go in and stand in line and be among all the people not wearing their masks right. So, but it tells you, like, I have it signed up with USPS and with UPS, and it says, oh, you could save money if you sent it UPS. So let me switch it for you. So I'm like, okay, I was sending everything USPS.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always just looking for the least expensive way to ship it.
Mm-hmm.
Figure if something happens to it on the way, I'll have to paint them a new one.
Right.
Unless it's something like, like in a crate, like the thing behind me here or something, then
yeah,
that's a situation. But, well.
I just ordered my second set of my second enamel pin design.
Okay.
So I should have those in about 4 to 6 weeks. I got my first enamel pin subscriber.
How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah. How much do you sell them for? And how big are they?
They're 2 inches by 1 3/4 inches, so they're a pretty big enamel pin. They're hard enamel pins. So they're, when you do the soft enamel, it's filled with something, and the wells are not all the way full. And then with hard, they overfill them a little bit, and then they polish them to a nice level surface.
Okay.
I'm charging $11 for my butterfly pin, the first one I did, but I ordered 100 of them. So that's my standard markup is 250% of cost.
Yeah.
I need to account for shipping and tax and all this other stuff,
No,
overhead, but I couldn't order 100 of these new pins because I'm just not in a place.
Yeah.
But I have 2 pre-sales and I have a subscription, so I need to get them in. So
Yeah.
I ordered 25 of them, but that means that the cost per pin is going to be way higher, and I'm going to have to increase the.
I wonder if eventually it'll be like prints. You used to have when we used to have to buy like 250 prints.
Oh yeah.
Minimum, and now you can just get one-offs. One at a time. I wonder if it'll evolve to that at some point. That would be a good thing, actually.
It would be, but
I don't know if it's cost effective for the manufacturers, but
they've kind of done that in the sense that you can get acrylic pins.
okay.
If you go to Sticker Mule, which I go to have my stickers made, because they're vinyl and they're thick and they're waterproof and scratch proof and fade proof and stuff, so they're really good. But they take the image that you send them and they put it on acrylic and then pop the backs on them. So they're printed, they're local. It takes like a quarter of the time, and they're like at least half, if not more, cost efficient. But they're not the heavyweight, nice enamel pins.
Right. It's not the exact product you want to put out.
Right.
Yeah, got it. Well,
I ordered them. We'll see what happens. I haven't launched them yet, but.
Yeah, I don't know that people want pins of my paintings, though.
True, but
different. I mean, yeah, I think you've got a really, and I hope this doesn't sound like I'm demeaning it at all, but you got a really cool niche. I mean, doing the endangered species and stuff. They're really neat paintings to look at, but they're also, I mean, my stuff is kind of old-fashioned art, right? I mean, it's old-fashioned landscape painting.
Right.
And I think you probably have a wider audience.
Well, it's funny because when I was first painting, I was painting
fortunate
flowers and cats and whatever just caught my eye. But then I'm trying to think, going to San Diego, what's going to get me attention?
Yeah.
What's going to get me attention? So I literally painted a couple endangered species for the attention.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting into, it's going to be really cool. They need to know why this is why, so I'm looking into the research behind why these animals are endangered, what's happening to them.
Well, yeah, you've got a great narrative behind them too. It's not just the artwork, and people can feel good about buying them. And I mean, it seems like a really good system. Yeah.
And, yeah.
I guess I could tell people that, if they pay me $15,000 for this painting behind me, $1,000 will go to fight bark beetle infestations.
There you go, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, listen, Kim, I need to get going. I've been on this thing since 5 o'clock. I had like I said, I had a meeting before you. Sorry, it ran a little bit long, but
no problem. No problem.
No.
Next week.
Yeah, count me in for next week.
We're going to be doing this on the regular. So I reached out to a bunch of different artists, and this week came, it was you and Todd, and it was great, and I loved it.
Well, if you want, let me know, and I'll see if there's, if I can get other people involved too.
Okay.
They're probably going to be coming from the same sort of direction as I am as far as the type of artwork, but I have friends, and some of them might want to take part. Who knows? I'm
all for bringing everybody from different walks because everybody has a different set of questions and everybody has a different set of answers. And I think one group can help the other group.
Well, and I think if we can get people watching, it's probably going to be more interesting to a wider array of people if there's different genres represented and things. And
Exactly.
yeah, no, I like the idea. So count me in. But right now, I need to go eat.
Okay, I do too. I've been snacking on my chicken.
Yes, I saw that.
Parmesan. Well,
I can't reach it.
we're doing keto. We're doing keto because seizure boy over here, we can't get control any other. We're trying this. He's got an implant. We've tried every medication. We've tried Epidiolex, which is a CBD based medication.
Yeah.
So now we're trying diet. Oh, look at you.
Do you remember my daughter Carly?
I remember her when she was this big.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
This is Carly. She's now 15.
Yeah.
And no longer this big. Anyway, I got to get going.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you next week, if not before.
Okay.
All right. Take care. I know you're in the back there, Ian. Take care. Bye-bye, dude.
Bye.